Thanks for joining me for the Pray for Micah podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review, and check out my YouTube channel and follow me on social media. Pray for Micah Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And now, on with the show.
Welcome to the Pray for Micah podcast. And now your host, Micah Chrisman.
Welcome to the Pray for Micah podcast, where we explore art, activism, spirituality, and our cosmic significance/insignificance. I'm excited to have everyone here today. As you know, your prayers are always welcome, and I'm here with Lucille Cody, and she is with her podcast that she's the host of High and Doing Things. And guess what, everybody? It's February in Missouri, and weed is now legalized. So, whoop, whoop. This is the month to particularly be praying for me. That's what I was saying. Everyone pray for Mike. Oh, God, they just made weed legalized, you know. But, you know, if you're a real renegade person, you know you've been hustling this game for a minute. Prohibition is on the decline, you know.
Yeah, it really is. Thank God. Thank God, for real. I'm just really glad that it is.
Yeah. A lot of people's lives could be transformed, and we'll get into that and a little bit about Lucille's podcast, High and Doing Things. She's the host, and it's a real-time, unedited, unscripted, just conversations with herself and other interesting humans. It's full of random singing, interviews, like field trips, and random commercials for things that may or may not exist in real life.
Yeah.
I love this bio. This is very much you. Yeah, this is Royal Podness declaration of her show. Yeah, check it out and hear the random guests and feelings, and you're getting high and doing things.
Yes, I'm just getting high and doing things, and I had my hood on, but then it went away. But this is it.
Yeah,
It's like I love this cloak.
yeah. Show us some of your patches. You know, if you're on the YouTube side, you can see like Lucy's got this like pink, like gorgeous mask, kind of faux, and I don't know,
It's-
feline almost.
Yeah, kind of like a cat, and it has sparkles all over it and everything like that, you know. And I made it myself and painted it and everything, and yeah, I took the time to put every single little jewel on there and everything like that, and then this cloak are pins from like all over the place and just different random places I find them. Sometimes I'll find them at thrift stores, and I'll like, you know, go through like all this like basket of all these little pins and things like that and stuff like that, or I'll buy them and find some, and some places, you know, give me them, you know, when I go to different like expos and stuff like that. So if you can see that close, you know, I'm not getting paid for that, so I'm not going to say that, but you know, you can read. There's different like ones and stuff. And this is this where it is? Is this the nugget? Where's the nugget? Oh, there it is.
The little nugget.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. It's like a real nug. It looks realistic.
Doesn't it look real? It's like a little nugget right here, a little nugget right there. But it's like,
this is like stuff that I feel like is currency at festivals, you know,
Yeah.
like, hey, I'll trade you this, like, you know,
you
patch
this
of this thing for some, you know, illicit substances. I don't know.
yeah, some other like fun activities, you know. And I had on this patch recently from Colorado one, and I found out that actually this is like a Boy Scouts patch from like the Boy Scouts or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot of things. When it says high maintenance in the back, you know, my babe found that one. Hi, honey.
What's up, honey? What's his name? Or
He
just
was my Mr. Touch on the show.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my darling.
Hey, congratulations, y'all are engaged.
Yeah, we are. We're getting married soon.
Oh wow.
I'm really excited.
You got
So
big-
pretty.
look at the glam and the glitter of the diamond there.
Yeah, it's real nice, big, pretty, sparkly thing. Yes.
Oh,
You're supposed to show that off. It's like, yes, you should be proud.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's so sweet. Yeah,
Thank
like
you.
life is just so short, and so to find love and to that's
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I can't wait for it. Just go for it. You
Yeah,
know?
you definitely should go for it, and just open your heart. No matter what you things have been through, you can't just carry that stuff. Like, do the work to like not carry that shit into the next relationship. Like, do the work. Be by yourself if you have to be by yourself for like a little while. It's okay. Take that time, because then maybe it'll make you a better person when you meet that other person.
Yes.
The other human. For me, I'm a vampire, but I fell in love with a human, and that's okay.
Yeah,
It's allowed.
I guess when you're hungry, you'll have that steady food,
Yeah.
intake of like, well, I have my human slave, or what are a familiar?
Familiar.
Yeah, you'll just have your familiar, and you can just like suck on his blood a little bit.
Yeah,
slowly.
but like, yeah, there you go. I'm fine. No, but I stopped eating people a long time
Isn't that
ago.
a metaphor for marriage in general?
No,
I'm just
it's not. You're so funny.
I'm just kidding.
You're so funny.
I'm a fan of people being partners for life. Yeah, I don't know what at this point.
Life.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm like, I picture my wedding maybe is going to be just like barefoot out in the woods, ceremony, kind of just do something with the, have the family, everything there, but just make it real ratchet. I don't know.
You want it ratchet? Just
No,
have a good time.
I just don't want. I'd rather spend the money on a honeymoon or something. Go have
that
an
makes
experience.
sense. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but what are you guys planning? You're doing like a big ceremony? Are you going to kind of scale it? Up, down, sideways?
We're very, different, unique, kind of eccentric people, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
And
That's what I'm like. It's got to be a cool theme, right?
Yeah, it's totally different. Like, well, what we're gonna do does involve water. That's all I will say. It does involve water. But if I had it my merry way, it would have the masquerade ball.
Oh, okay.
From Phantom of the Opera, when they all dress in their masquerade mask and everything. They do the whole dance and the skirts and all the awesomeness and the stairs. That would be performed, but the theme wouldn't be just Phantom of the Opera themed. It wouldn't be that. It was just literally I wanted just that scene to happen, and and then everything else just be like a good time, But masquerade, everyone wearing ball gowns and I don't know.
And Gerard Butler comes out of the side.
No.
Music of the night.
No, please, no.
Da-na-na, da-na-na-na. I'm not quite on key there, but I'm close.
Oh, you're close. You're very close.
I think I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's that movie. I really liked that Phantom of the Opera movie.
I
but
have not seen the most.
It reminds me of what's that movie that had the Wolverine dude singing Les Miserables, same kind of thing.
God.
Like, these like good actors, and
He's
then they're
a good
like,
actor.
don't catch him singing though.
I'm like, please just stay Wolverine.
Just don't sing, please.
Please don't sing.
Yeah, so we met at the Black Hippie concert.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
It's a record bar, and you were just there in your mask, in your cloak, and just you approached me and told me about your podcast.
I was just like, oh, hey, hi, I'm Lucy with How You Doing Things podcast.
And then we
How
just
are
ran
you
into
doing?
each other again.
Yeah, we ran into each other again at Parlor with the party there they were having for the Kansas City Fashion.
Yeah.
Which I was just there, covering all the events and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it was
so
really,
fun.
really fun. It was a really good time.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Marty. He was there doing some magic for people. And
hey, Marty, I still have my quarter too.
yeah, the quarter that he destroyed, that he bent.
Yeah.
With his mind, of course,
It's right here.
Look at that.
I have it right here. It's the bent quarter. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but
I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah, it's bent. I mean, you see that? It's like curved. There's my initials. I still have it. It's dope.
It's amazing how he didn't snap it in half with his mind powers.
I'm just like, what? This thing is bent. This is mind blowing. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, but I still have it. I carry like everything around. I'm like,
but that's what I picture. I picture like all the trinkets, all the patches have like a similar story that I think that's awesome. You kept Marty's corner.
I kept Marty's corner.
This is magic. I need to keep this. I need to store this away.
I need to carry this little bit of magic with me.
I need to store this in a rabbit's foot.
Yes.
And throw salt over my shoulder and spin in circles and activate it. You know, and all of a sudden I can like wield, you know, wizard powers. You know?
No, there's no wizard powers.
Just vampire powers.
Just vampire powers. Yeah.
High and doing things.
Yes, high and doing things.
So you started that basically at the start of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So you were like the rest of the world just kind of stuck and secluded from the virus. And it was like, you know, I'm going to take a stab being creative. And like, what did that process look like?
Well, you know? I was like, okay. I was like, all right, well, we were high and doing things. And we were getting some Chinese food. And it's the dawning of high and doing things, and Chinese high through is, I think, is the name of that episode. Officially one of the first ones. Mm-hmm. And then there's the scrub water hustlers. And then and so on. But I was like, what would be funny? It was like we'd had like a podcast where you're just like, you know, you're high and you're doing things. I'm like, that's a great name. And so that's what we decided it. You know, I decided it was like, yeah, all right, babe. Yeah, that sounds great. So we're high in the Chinese drive-thru. And I just started talking about like what I saw and what we were doing. And just, you know, you're high and you're just talking shit, you know, just get on all kinds of levels like we're about to do right now. You gotta pray for us, Micah.
I'm trying to pray for you. Yeah, no, that's why I'm glad you're here. All of a sudden, I just have like a whole church choir of people come and surround you. Are you ready to have the vampire cast out?
No. Oh my God. Oh my God. I swear. Wait, did I just drop? No, I didn't. Okay, good. No, I have my gummies. They're right here. They're safe.
Yeah.
They're safe.
Keep them secret. Keep them safe.
Secret.
So y'all were going. What Chinese restaurant was it?
It was the one on Linwood.
Oh, China Feast?
China Feast, I think it was.
Okay, or, classic. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, on Linwood.
That's the one I'm thinking
right next door to that that used to be really scary, sketchy little convenience store that's next door to it.
I don't know if I'm thinking of the same place. This one's like
there's a Home Depot.
Yes.
Across the street from it. So it's that one.
Depot.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
so, but right next door to it.
It's a sketchy place.
Yeah. It's like right next door.
I've never really noticed it.
It's a little convenience store, but it's not really sketchy anymore. Maybe because they kind of updated and things and stuff inside there, so that's good. But then it's like, but yeah, back in the day,
that's how you know
scary.
you're getting good Chinese food is when you're going and like you're not quite sure how the drive-through part works. Like,
yes, it's
you
an
might
old
fall
Checkers.
off a click. You know,
it's like oh yeah, because there's two ways in and out on both sides. Like it's weird, but I don't know that both sides are ever open. That's when you know
you're at the greatest place on earth.
Yeah,
that's when the food's gonna be super fire.
There's
when
double
cars are just running into each other.
Yeah, there's like double sided. They're like the buildings here in the middle. Drive through this side. Drive through this side. But then you enter on this side. See, and you probably have to like make a figure with my hands with like one of those imaginary little
I'll just
things
I'll get my art illustrator.
Yeah, the art. Yeah, you know that thing when they like okay, they went over here and the X's and the O's, and then they ran over here and this is tackle and blah blah blah.
I see the Netflix documentary, like scribbles.
Yeah, that's what's happening here. In my mind, I can see it. You guys just can't see it, but that's what I mean. So it's right here, and then you go in this way, and then you go that way. I do all my hand motions all the time.
Yeah, it's. Someone needs to make a movie of it. It needs to be done. So what?
We're high.
What was it like?
Freshly.
What was it like starting? Like recording and.
Okay. So
like, when did you?
I had been recording for like over a year. Before I went live. That's one of my little secrets. It's out. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I always think I think everyone always thinks they're like the first to do everything, but you know, either way, I had what they say a lot in the bag before I went live, and I was like nervous to go live, but I did it, and it's been like the greatest thing I ever did. And I just recording about my life and just talking about. You know, like if I was recording right now, I'd be like, yeah, I'm high and doing things. I'm here hanging out with Micah. You know, I'm like, I'm high at another podcast and high and stuff.
and high and stuff.
Yeah. See, that's how I just talk, but just keep going and I just keep talking, and then there's all kinds of other
And then
wild,
suddenly you're doing things.
Then you're like doing things. It's like, okay, let's go for a walk. Let's meditate. Let's
I was going to say, yeah, like from your episodes and stuff, it's like
so much.
It's the high part, but then you're even like, oh, okay, I'm good on that now. Now I'm going to enjoy this journaling, and I'm going to like I like their latest one that was like about nature podness. And
nature podness. Yeah,
get
thank
some
you.
nature.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
I went for a walk. I just went for a stroll.
In the cold, brisk winter. Yeah.
Yeah, just went for a nice walk. It wasn't actually. It was that day when it was pretty nice out.
Okay.
So I went out for a nice walk and, to touch trees and just breathe and just, because you need to do that. It's like, I always say, get high, get calm, and get moving. So for me, it's like you get high. Okay, you get calm. So maybe you need to meditate. Maybe your calm is having a cup of tea or freshen up with some more water, because I love water, and then get moving. Don't just sit there on your ass. And it doesn't mean sitting there and just playing games like most stereotypes, which has totally been broken a lot more now, because a lot of things have changed, so it's just like, okay, so we're getting up, getting moving. Okay, whether that is you come into your office and you start working on your podcast thingies,
right.
You're cleaning your house, you're doing yoga, you're meditating, you're going for a walk, you're working out, taking your dog, doing whatever the fuck it is you're doing, going to work, whatever. I'm not saying that you should go to work high or anything unless
we're not recommending you get in operate vehicles,
No, or anything
when
like
you
that.
Uber to work,
Yeah, when you Uber to work high. I always advocate for safety. Like,
Uber's
please be safe.
It's not a sponsor of Pray for Micah. Just says.
Yeah, we're just saying.
We're just saying no.
But
yeah, when
you say Uber, and sorry, I'm like, okay, but it's just like, I don't know if I should say this or not. So it's like,
I can always cut it out.
Okay, well, it's like how everything calls everything a Kleenex.
Yes.
Even though it's not the Kleenex brand.
No, yeah.
So even though you say Uber, it's not like everything's an Uber. You could be talking about a Lyft or the other taxis. It's just a new word for taxi.
Right. Yep. And that's the mastermind behind marketing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like there's a whole portion of the United States where you get a Coke,
Yeah.
like they don't mean like an actual Coca-Cola. They might mean something else.
Yeah,
but
let's go get Coke.
You get a Coke,
pop.
It's
like, okay, let's go
how
get
did
Coke.
Coca-Cola do that?
Yeah,
because they had cocaine in it first. They were like, it's really easy to reinforce the brand when the product is the brand.
And all the housewives are like, yes, we love this. This stuff is great.
This is like curing all my problems. Oh wait,
it's like, no, because it was in small doses and it was fine, but then they took it out and then I don't know. Look where we are now.
Yeah, now we got things like marijuana becoming legalized.
I know, yay!
Now our people who are opioid addicts, all these other things that usually stem from like mental health issues.
Yeah.
Like, hey, at least, and I'm an advocate, like whatever you got to do, if you have to be the person who, like, you need to be sober and like that's your journey. Like, I respect it,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious, like for you, like, is it like mainly recreational, or do you use marijuana for like mental health like reasons? Like, how do you consume your cannabis?
Cannabis, just a fancy cannabis. Yes, it's like I like to smoke it. I like to smoke blunts. I also smoke joints, pre-rolls. Sometimes, but it helps with my anxiety.
Oh, really?
Like nervousness and stuff like that. But as I'm like getting older, I'm over 300 something years old.
Yeah, of course, as a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been out here a long time on this planet.
I've been here a long time. Seen it all. You
I've
guys heard about senile. It's really because he's like, seen it all.
All these little humans, they're so excited that they've decriminalized this plant.
It's just like, oh goodness, there's nothing new about this plant. It's been here forever.
Wouldn't that be kind of just a weird way to experience time? Or if you could live forever, you just like see like, oh great, we've moved on from burning witches to now we're decriminalizing plants.
Like, oh great, yes, I know, right? It's just kind of like,
wow, good job, humans. Like, what are we gonna do next year? Like, decriminalize oxygen.
Right? It's just like, oh my goodness. I mean, probably if we keep letting certain people play around in space, that shouldn't be playing around in space, but that's a different time for later.
Yeah, no, that's a crazy thing. Like, if the things go south on this planet, like there's this whole thing where there's debris like circling our planet right now, like all these satellites and past missions. And so there's a whole like these like little bolts, or they even have like micro like particles that are going like whatever it is, 80,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like they're just stuck in the freaking atmosphere, in the far,
just floating
floating around. And so at some point, like if we don't like find a way to like, there's like proposals to like, build some kind of space magnets to like start throwing things off orbit so that it burns up. I don't know. There's a whole convoluted thing around how we're going to have to like solve this problem, but you never even think about like, we might not even be able to leave this planet, even if we like discover like speed of light, travel, or faster. Oh, we can't even leave our planet because it's a shrapnel field.
Yeah, it's just too many things out there. So it's like, well, you know who we have to send up there?
I don't know.
Did you see that movie Mars? Is that Matt Damon?
Oh, yeah.
Send Matt Damon up there to Mars, and he'll get it going. Send him with a potato.
Yeah, you gotta use your poop to grow some potatoes.
Yeah, so he could like send him up there with a potato and a monkey, and maybe a dog. I don't know.
I'm just picturing like you're just thinking like of Air Bud. Air Bud in space. It's like actually you're not thinking of the right movie at all, but that's all right.
Yeah, no.
The ones that got a lot of animals in space. It's probably that one. Is there like a monkey and a dog and like they just like fight each other?
I don't know. I'm just making up things. I haven't seen those movies. I've seen the Mars though, but I think it was a potato. And
no, you're right. Yeah,
it was a potato. Okay, good. Yeah, so that was happening.
Well, it sounds like you got a knack for doing like kind of crafty, kind of like your mask, like kind of creating an aesthetic. Like what other kind of like, I don't know, personal artsy, crafty things do you like to do?
Oh, I draw. I make art.
Oh,
also, I have this collection of mannequins that I've made.
No way.
Yeah, well,
tell me more.
Oh, yeah, we found them at the like different stores and different places for sale. These mannequins, and I have 4 female. They're hollow in the back, and it's from the neck down to the belly button, and they're white. And so we finished them, with a back painting of white, fresh for a canvas, and then I've been painting them. Yeah, I've just been painting them, and they are I have one that's finished. It takes a lot of years, like not years, but it takes kind of years for me to finish them because I don't do it unless I'm feeling it, you know. And they're not.
That's a lot, though. You said 12?
No, I have. Well, I think I have 12 different items altogether. I have 4 of the females. I have 1 male torso. I have another female that's a pregnant
like
torso.
Proportions. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then I have 4 identical those. I have a male that's a full torso, and then I have a pregnant female. I have a hand.
Interesting.
That's like the wrist down, and then I think that's it. I think that's all of the ones that I have for right now. But yeah, and so I've been painting them, and I don't think I could ever part with them. Everyone has a price, but I don't think I could part with them. They're quite beautiful, but I would tour them.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I would tour them and stuff like that.
I'm doing things, art exhibit.
Yeah.
People kind of have like a, whatever they call it, like a art entrance, like experience, like
yeah.
Before the show.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, like they
before
have,
like live recording or something.
Right, and that's on my private page, but it's my dark sugar art is what it is, and I do sometimes go around and do different art fairs and stuff like that.
Oh,
sometimes.
That's cool.
Yeah, so a little bit personal there about Lucy, but there we go.
Thanks. No, that's what we're just trying to. I mean, you've got 300 years of existence.
Yeah, I've done a lot.
Surely you got to like let us know about the torsos.
Yeah, I gotta let you know about the torsos. Let you know.
I'm just glad as a vampire they're not. I'm glad they're just mannequins.
They're mannequins.
That's more normal, right? Art with mannequins, less than.
Or are they?
Or are they mannequins? Suddenly, it's like go to your house. It's actually just all rotten torsos, and it's like
It's okay. Nobody really looks in that
puny
room anyway.
humans. That's so cool, though. Yeah. I have a friend. I just bought an art piece from him. He's a cool dude. His name's Tim Downing, and you saw the art piece in there kind of next to my piano. And he's the same way. He's just makes these real elaborate big paintings, and you know, he likes them so much it hangs them up in his house, and there's no price he can sell it for, you know.
He won't sell them.
Yeah, he has some for sale. Like I like this one was just one he had
That one right there?
the one in the other room. Yeah.
Oh, that's so
the
pretty.
big one. Yeah, I'll flash up a picture if you guys are watching on YouTube. You can see it. It's a cool photo, but yeah, you know, it's just one of the few that he had too not enough space, or they were just stacked up in his side room or whatever. And
those
it's
are
like
really cool. I
but
really
he has
like
some
it.
like at the record. I think it's Josie's Records. If you go down the Josie Records, there's some.
I have to go check that out.
He has some art that are for sale hanging up in there. But yeah, I know artists like who have that same feeling. Like once you've created this thing, you enjoy it so much. It'd be hard to share with selling it, you know.
Or like you can't touch it, like a Van Gogh or something. It's like don't touch it. You can look at it. it's like very precious to me, and it's like it's a lot of emotion to it when you see it. I should advertise it more, but I'm just really protective of it. It's really protective of it, right?
Well, thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah. There's a lot more things I could share.
One day you'll be having this like exclusive exhibit of your art in New York or something.
I would love that. Oh my gosh. Shout out. Hey, what's up, New York? Sup?
What's up? What's up, New York?
What's up? Sup?
Just something to get very aggressive.
Just really aggressive. Like New York's aggressive. I don't know if New York's
I got friends who just moved there, you know, so.
Is it a soft place? I don't think it's a soft place.
I think it's kind of like people treat you how you want to be treated. I feel like it's not an aggressive thing. It's just more of a straightforward attitude. Like, you know, we kind of hem-haw in the Midwest. And if you're in the South, you kind of draw things out in conversation.
Yeah.
Speaking kind of subtext and code. And they're just kind of like, all right, I'm done hanging out with you. And I'm going to leave. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
You know, I don't know. No, just people are just a little more.
Okay, I'm done. I'm gone. Right,
I don't know. I can't speak. I've never lived in New York. But I have friends who moved there, and they love it. People are. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's kind of like you can go there with that assumption, and then it's like you know you'll have people who prove you wrong all the time, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it's such a mix of humans there. You know, a lot of people like everywhere. You know, so it's fine. I still would love to have like art in New York because I have blank inside greeting cards. I have different like portraits and things like that I've made, but it's all art that I made. And some of it's very tiny. It's a lot to see it. It's a lot of details. There's a lot to it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to send you some pictures or something like that.
Hey, whatever you're willing to share. Yeah. I'll during this part, I'll flash them up.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
That'd be wonderful. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. They're dope. Yeah. I should do. Just people are weird and I'm just weird.
Hey, but you're the good. You're the fun.
Everything's copywritten it too. I always say that too. I'm like, I always do that too. I'm always
right.
Like,
I'll make sure that any proceeds for my show during that picture so go directly to you.
Yeah, man. Shit, I work hard, man. It's a lot of emotion to my stuff.
I feel that. Yeah.
Like Erica Badu said, I'm sensitive.
Suddenly, it is about the money. You know.
Right. You know?
Suddenly, we have lawyers involved.
Oh no way, man. I don't want to do. No, we're even gonna put that in the world, man.
No, but we were just having a conversation about it. It's just interesting. I haven't even started to like think about, like trademark and all these different things.
Oh, yeah.
And you realize doing some like recording and doing podcasting that's the first hurdle and that's the first thing you do. And then you realize, and then you have to like kind of find the business connection part of it. And that means legal things.
Yes.
And
it does.
It's still not like starting a major Fortune 500 company, but you know, paperwork wise, but
I mean, they all have to start somewhere.
Right.
It's like, it's a lot. There's a lot of information, but we talked about that, you know.
We have to be our own recording audio people, our own
yes.
guest researchers.
Yes.
And then we have to product placement ourselves,
yes.
marketing, and
just
record.
Solidify.
Oh, and on top of that, we
sponsorships.
Gotta hire a lawyer.
Oh my God.
No, just kidding.
I don't want to do that. Unless it's free.
Has it been like a really fun process for you? You said it's been, is it 2 years almost?
Oh yeah, I've been doing this podcast, High and Doing Things, for 2 years.
Nice.
for 2 years straight, every Wednesday, like clockwork, like every Wednesday an episode comes out. I do what I call an advertisement, letting people know, hey, new episode's coming out tomorrow on Tuesday. Wednesday as well. You should have a schedule for yourself and be realistic with what you can actually accomplish. Don't push yourself so hard. Always just do you,
Right.
because there's only one you. And then, you know, on Wednesdays I'll do an ad and say, hey, new episode's out, you know, and I make those that day. I don't plan them ahead.
That's
and
cool.
People like schedule theirs out and all that stuff. I'm like, I'm a creative. I just create, literally. Like, I like to create. It's fun for me. I like,
yeah, it's part of the process too.
Yeah, this is fun. It's like, gosh, I've been through a lot in life, and I'm like, oh, like, find a life worth living. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Who the hell you think you're talking to? What did you say to me?
What did you say?
Excuse me?
Come here,
Who are
New
you
York.
talking to?
Come here, New York. I'm
talking about life worth living. What the fuck? You know, but I'm just kidding. I'm like, but that's what my brain says. Like when I first heard that sentence, and I was just like, who the fuck you get a life? What the hell does that mean?
Speaking of real life, so Lucy, what do you feel about existence? What do you make of this world?
Oh gosh,
we were kind of sharing a little bit, just when we were having a initial discussion about the show, just kind of your spirituality and your faith, and what does that look like for you?
Well, I call myself a Christian, but a spiritual person, a believer. You know, I believe in heaven and hell. I believe in Jesus, but I always say that everyone is welcome. Like, I don't care. Like, you know, I have friends who are atheists or who believe all kinds of different religions and and just whatever. You know, it's like we're all human. It's like, it's fine. We're all connected, right? So why not welcome everyone and be kind and loving to like everybody? And like existence, I'm a vampire.
So doesn't that mean you're going to hell?
No.
Doesn't that mean you don't have a soul?
No. It's like I have a soul. No, I'm just kidding. It's like, it's just fun to say that, you know, because it's like,
I mean, I heard that's why Jesus didn't die on the cross. He was a vampire who couldn't die.
He couldn't die. Well, hey, I've heard this theory before. I don't know.
Or just some kind of being that can live forever, you know.
And that's okay, because I mean, it has to be something, you know, and our brains are so like not used enough. There's like so much of it that we can't study, because it's really funny to me. They're like, okay, we have to wait for someone to die, or we can like volunteer someone to like be awake alive, peel open their head and try to study the brain with the brain that we have that we're still trying to figure out. It's fucking redundancy, and it's hilarious to me. So I'm just like, okay, you're not gonna figure. It's just, I mean, we figure out different things all the time, but it's like, what are you? I mean, it's just really, it's like one of those, you know, repeating cartoon thingies, like where it's just like, it's like, okay, it's like, okay, a plant, a rock, a plant, a rock, a plant, a rock. You know, it's just like, it just keeps like going. You know, it's like the same thing. It's just like alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead. It's just like, it's the same picture over and over again. It's like, so it's like a brain. I'm trying to dig into the brain.
I'm trying to understand.
Figure out how this works by digging into yours. Okay, or you're dead or somebody, and then autopsying and trying to figure out shit, right?
So it's like trying to understand something that's pretty nebulous. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. No, you're right. They don't understand how we cry, like how we have that reaction.
Yeah.
Like they can like monitor and see the brain synapses, like
Yeah.
tear ducts activated.
Yeah.
But they don't know sensorily, like neuron, like why, like when someone, like a loved one, or when we're moved by a moment of good feelings, we don't know what causes that feeling to cause tears.
That happened to me the other day, actually, that you bring that up.
Really?
I was at an antique shop and I smelled this perfume, and as soon as I smelt it, I immediately started crying. I was like, what the fuck is this salty discharge coming out of my face? What is happening here?
Wow.
You know, I was just like, oh my God, memory unlocked. Dun, 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 1,000 points. And it was just like, video games speak. Sorry. It's part of the hot nerd girl society. We're like super nerdy over here. So it's just like brain goes into video game type thing / anime face expressions in our imagination mind. You know, it's just like, you know, exclamation eyes, you know, and the mouth goes into the dark little small O, like on those cartoons, how that happens. You know what I mean? Can you see it? You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
So it was like that. I was just like, what? Exclamation mark, and then like the teardrop that's just like over here for some reason, and then so it's just like.
Isn't that amazing though? How like just smell can just activate a memory. Suddenly you're right there with your grandma, or you're at.
I smelled her. I was like, I didn't know what it was. I was like, Mommy. I was like, did Grandma wear this? I don't know. I'm having like some memory here, and I immediately started crying when I smelled it, and she's like, I think so. Yeah, I think Mama wore that, and I was like, and she smelled it later. I took it to her, and so. The bottle was empty, but it still had like a little bit in it, so you still smell it. And it was only like 50 cents, and the lady just said I could have it. And
really,
yeah, it's a really sweet lady. And I was like, thank you. And I cried. I was just like, what the? And I was like, it was my grandma. And I said she used to smell like. And I was just like, oh wow, like you didn't know. He's like, you don't think about. I mean, only certain people wear Elizabeth Taylor white diamonds.
It's like suddenly you see that very particular one, you go get a flashback to like all the old people in church.
Yeah.
Just like every single elderly person.
So Elizabeth Taylor was their Kim Kardashian of the time.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Kim Kardashian is our Elizabeth Taylor of the time. And so it's just kind of like, yeah. So it's just like, wow, it's just, that's wild. That can happen. But how are you going to study it? You just can see it. Yes, there's a scientific thing to it, but it's an emotion. You can, I don't know, man. There's science and there's stuff, man. I just like to get smoked, man. I just like to get freshly.
just
it's
take
fine.
me to that.
I don't like to worry too much about things that you can't really figure out or you don't care to figure out. You just know it happens and experience it, and that's fine. Not everything needs to be analyzed to death.
Sure. Yeah. So for you, it's just kind of like, hey, it's just not a lot of complicated. I'm part of a Christian faith, but it's open and welcoming to anybody. And
yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, I was like,
well, because you were talking about like that, and then like the
kind of like
it's
everything.
almost like people trying to like humans trying to understand ourselves by studying the brain, and it's I was taking what you were saying to like kind of like God or the universe or what. There's so much we can't understand.
Yeah,
just sit and be present.
Yes, it's
enjoy
just like,
this feeling.
I think there's
nothing.
Yes. Exactly. I think there's nothing like sitting at the feet of Jesus, God, universe, whatever you want to call him, her, whatever it is, or none, or whatever it is that helps you in your times of needs. I think even people who don't believe in absolutely nothing don't call out to something or talk to something or someone or something.
They might believe in the power of love.
Yeah, to reach out for
thing.
You'd be like, I reach out for more love, or I reach out for more, meditation or centeredness or something. Reach out community. Yeah, see, there's something that you believe in, that you take care, that helps you. That helps to support you in different times, whatever that is. So yes, that always has to be identity, and for me. I love everyone.
Yeah.
I just like everyone's welcome. Like, who am I? Who is it for Christians to think they are the only ones who know? Who are the Islamists or the Jews or the Mormons or the Mennonites or the atheists or the liberals or the birds or the candy and the trees and the water to know who knows what's best or what's going to happen later? It's like, You can't just be like, well, I'm the only one that knows, and all the rest of you are going to hell. Who are you?
Right.
You don't know shit.
Right.
You know what you know, and what you believe in, that is good. But the basis, I think, all things for most people is love and kindness.
Yes. I can totally get on board with that. And like you said, like,
start preaching.
Look at you. Lordy Lord.
I was like, y'all the Christians and all y'all people are like, we're the only ones that are right. No, you're wrong, or you're going to go out. That's wrong. I'm judging you. While you're over here in a corner, actually eating bacon, even though, you're not supposed to because your religion says you shouldn't. And then you're over here just smoking weed over here, and then you shouldn't, even though you're not supposed to. You're over here fornicating. So
you're definitely,
doing all these other things. You're not perfect.
You're not the flavor of Christianity that is against like substances, obviously.
No.
Yeah. Not against dancing, I'm guessing.
No. Oh my God.
Just kidding.
Did you grow up in that kind of church?
No. I mean, just leave enough room for Jesus.
Yeah.
While you're dancing.
While you're in there for Jesus. Yeah, it's just like keep enough room for Jesus.
Keep enough room,
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Don't masturbate.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, don't do this. Don't do that. I was like, this is the funny one. I tell my mom that she used to tell us sometimes. Just I think she would use it to tell us no, but to make it really a strong no, so we really wouldn't ask about it anymore. So bring God into it. So,
thus saith the Lord.
Yes. Well, no. My mom would say, well, because okay, get on a roller coaster. You can't get on a roller coaster because if you get on a roller coaster and you're not really saved that day, and you fall off and die, you'll go to hell. So you better not get on that roller coaster.
Jesus.
That's what my mom, stuff like that. So it's just like, if you're not really saved that day, and if you choose and you are saved and you decide to go to a club, as soon as you step foot onto the parking lot, the grounds of hell will open up and swallow Jesus. You. So you better not go dancing at any clubs.
So some emotional manipulation, some making you question your reality, a little gaslighting. Nah, that sounds like a great way to use your Christianity. But it reminds me of a time like
she laughs about it now, like, oh my God, I just didn't want you to do dangerous things.
A little light trauma. Yeah, if you go on the road, you're gonna burn in hell forever. You're gonna die.
We're like the most extreme.
You'll be so tortured. If you go out in the street, you're gonna go to hell and say.
If you're not saved, you have to go out there with full on. And it's like we do. And I know Christianity and certain things are just not. It's not for everyone, but I know what I believe in. I think people forget about the New Testament. Everyone gets stuck on the old.
Yeah, there's supposed to be good news in there, right?
Yeah, and like a little bit more chill, dude. He's like, dude. Without without sin, throw the first stone. Calm down. You're all sinners. Y'all bad. Get out of here. What's wrong with y'all? Like, what if he didn't like talk like that? How they wrote it? What if he was just like super like the commenting? It's just like y'all tripping. Y'all
tripping. Yeah.
He's like looking at. I know what you just did before you got here. Okay, and then and then looking at so and so and so and so. They're just like, okay, so you guys go away, like chill, just love each other. Like, can you guys just be chill, man, and smoke some herb?
Yeah, let's pass out some food here. Yeah,
eat these.
Here's some bread and fish. Yeah,
here's some bread and fish.
Oh, you're out of wine? Let me change that water into wine real quick. Let's keep this party going.
Right.
In fact, let's make it the best wine anyone's ever had.
Yes. It's just like, you guys
life's a celebration and connection with each other, and he was like a person of the community. He kind of was a resistance to Rome, right?
Yeah.
Like they were like the ones who controlled Israel at the time, and that's why a lot of people thought he was going to be the Messiah. That he was going to be the savior who kind of conquers the Romans, and he did it through a different subversion.
Yeah,
he brought in a narrative that was counter to empire.
It's just. It's a lot.
And then humans were like, let's now take that and add a bunch of bullshit and rules and let's kill people over it for hundreds of years.
It's crazy. And that part was not.
That's any religion, right? That's kind of like if it's been around for thousands of years. That's why I joke and I say I know J.K. Rowling has got all this flurry about all her anti-trans stuff, but.
Oh, she does.
Yeah, there's all this stuff.
TV
yeah, that's probably bad for the better. But I only bring it up because I guess next to the Bible, the Harry Potter series is the next mostly largest sold book in the world.
Yeah.
And so I just picture 2,000 years from now, it's that many, surely one copy might look one set of the series. And so I just picture a whole new religion starting. From it.
Oh my God.
Everyone's our Lord and Savior, Harry Potter.
Well, you know what we have?
The devil, Voldemort,
Voldemort and the snakes. And
they survived and he rose again from the dead.
Oh my God.
To save us from our sins. Praise be Harry.
Bad.
Praise be Harry.
Oh, Ford. That book. Have you read that book or heard of that one, A Brave New World?
Oh, yeah. No, I've heard of it. Yeah, I've read it.
You should read that one. They were it's Ford instead of oh God or anything. It's Ford. And it's not talking about the Ford trucks or cars or anything. It's that's what they called it. And it's their whole, it's the dispatcher, the master of ceremonies in hatcheries where everyone is just made in tubes.
Oh, geez.
And just breed in different tubes and then in different class. It is a
Brave new world.
Yes, and it's we're not too far from that.
Yeah.
We're getting there sort of, but not really. But
and you kind of made a point. We were talking about that, and so how do you balance that with being a person who is in media, doing the podcasting world, all that stuff, but it sounds like you are very intentional of like, hey, don't miss me with that world bullshit.
Yeah.
Miss me with you're just vibing and so how do you hold that balance, when you're doing?
I don't watch the news on purpose.
You just
I don't watch the news on purpose, really. Like, I could find out. It doesn't mean I'm not informed. Like, I get it. It's seriously fucked out there right now.
Yeah.
It's a mess, but I just I meditate, I pray. I know that for me, like, I'm a child of the Most High God. So what that means is just like, I feel like, and people know the whole song when you're a kid, he has a whole world in his hands and all that kind of thing. I'm just like, Daddy God, it looks at me like I'm a little baby Thumbelina, okay? And so it's like God's hands, and it's like I'm just like in this tiny little crevice of his hand, and I'm just like sitting right there, and I'm just like, I blah 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 blah. It's like, and this is my prayers, and whatever it is I'm saying.
Like a Horton Hears a Who, like a little, like I think I heard a voice.
And he's just like, oh, you're so cute. He's like, you're so cute. He goes, I love you, Lucy.
Yeah.
You're going to be okay.
Tsunami.
You're going to be okay. No, that's for California and all the other naughties over here. Like, this, right. Like, okay, you guys are getting closer and closer to us, Sodom and Gomorrah here. We're going to just kind of move you guys over here. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's just called science and plates moving.
God did
and
cause
things.
Hurricane Katrina, No,
it's just people believe
Remember
all
that
kinds
whole
of. Oh my
thing?
God,
Yeah,
Hurricane Katrina happened because it's so wicked down there, and because they're
Right.
so bad and evil, and that's why they all died. How
saying
insensitive! How insensitive and wicked! What if that was you? What if that was somebody you knew or loved, and
Right.
someone said that, and you heard people mocking and thinking that was okay? That's one thing that I do talk about on my podcast and stuff like that. Is that, treat others how you want to be treated, but like, how does that make you feel as a person when you think it's okay to constantly, like, we can joke and kid, like we were just joking, kidding, is that how we really feel? And I always say God, and everything else judges your heart and who you are, not everything that you say and do. Otherwise, we'll just all be just doomed. No, but it's like,
humor can be a vehicle to talk about heavy things.
Yeah.
And it's like, a lot of people died, but it wasn't because they dressed up and flashed some boobies and threw beads like on Mardi Gras or some shit,
Right.
Like, oh, God, it's such a vile,
Right. It's not about that. It's about.
Well, and that's, what's that say? What's your view of God?
Yeah, what's your view of God?
God's a wrathful, judgmental, like, destructive, like. The reality is it's a world that we live in that has tectonic plates and global warming and all the real life things that are happening.
Yes, there's a lot of things that are happening that go on all the time that we just, like I said, we don't understand. So that's like, walk in love. If you're not going to take the time, like, people get upset about a lot of stuff, to get upset and always need to protest and yell and scream and do violence or just all kinds of shit. We need certain people to help move things along, to help make change in the world. We need a certain level of some things.
Sure.
Not really necessarily we don't need the violence. But it's just like, but sometimes I get it. Some things are just needed. That's why there's different people in the world. If everyone was passive about me, like me, I'm not really passive, but like kind of just, well, how does that make you feel as a person? I don't think that's very nice. I don't think we're going to do that, okay? Like, okay, like, go to war. I'm supposed to kill you. How do you feel about that?
I'm just picturing all these videos of, like, the Gen Z kids who have to go fight China or go fight Russia. And it's like,
that's really not part of my journey right now. So
I'm having a mental health day. I can't
really do that right now.
This gun.
I don't like the way this feels. This is too heavy.
This is too heavy. This is really harsh and mellow, guys.
Yeah, this one's not sparkly enough. It doesn't have enough flair. But I'm just kidding. But it's like, just don't do that.
Yeah. And like I don't know. I think there's something to it. Like, you can be an informed person. Like, our parents and grandparents, people, read the newspaper when it came every now and then.
Yeah, that's how they had to get informed.
But we're constantly barraged by this and this and this person in the news reacting to what this person said on the news and this other station. And the reality is, I think even like during the pandemic, when everybody's like kind of, everyone's, media consumption had to have risen, right? Because you're at home war and you're doing. And so I think everyone's just kind of like, we're tired of.
This is a lot.
Like, I got to like decide what I'm going to engage with. And Yeah, well, it would suck if they banned TikTok. I know my life would get more productive.
I know, right?
If
Oh my
the
God.
government was like, and it's like, okay, well, I guess that's one less thing I'm not addicted to.
Right. I know it's a lot to manage, but I'm glad you can cross share. So that's good. It's just like, but I just think that I always think about how does that, like when you seriously sit down and think about how certain things make you feel after you watched something or that you listened to certain something or around a certain person or after you said something. Even though you're angry and be like, yeah, I told them that mother, right? But how do you feel after that? Yeah, because maybe you were standing up for yourself and things like that. And so it's just, you have to kind of balance out the different type of situations. But when you're just being nasty, and then you have to respond with nasty when you really could have probably not have, and that makes a lot of people mad sometimes. And it's not to be passive aggressive. It's also, the new fun words to say, I'm protecting my energy. And it's like really that I don't want to be mean. Like, right. I just don't like doesn't make me feel good to respond to you being nasty with being nasty. And because I'll feel gross later. So I'm just going to walk away and it's like, yeah, and I'll deal with that feeling because it's that heart chakra that like right here. And it's just kind of like, ugh, but it's like, well, you can heal that. You can deal with that. You need to go sit with that and deal and process your emotions and your feelings because you're the only one that's in control of those. So I limit myself with news and TV and things like that. I'd like literally change my algorithm all the time. By literally, you have to type in and look and like on, sometimes maybe save and then unsave later, of fucking bunnies and dogs and kittens.
You're like, algorithm, feed me the happy shit. I'm tired of seeing all of the
Yeah, because I looked at someone else's news thing by accident and it's like, oh, you like this? Okay, let's show you more of that. There was a movie on, I think, was it a Disney movie or something that robots, the Mitchells versus the robots.
Oh yeah,
have you seen that?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Remember, wasn't that one when those robot things got them all enslaved and was taking them up in space and stuff? And was it that one or the broken little robot dude? I think it was a little broken little robot dude that
like WALL-E.
It was like WALL-E, but it wasn't. It's after WALL-E. It's like kind of recent. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was another similar robots kind of like took over kind of a thing like that. And yeah, it's just like, but just like we want you to, sorry. So that's why I was happening. They had this like load of this kid and these people behind the screen, which is, representing like the algorithm. And it was just like, oh, look, they looked at this. Show them more of that. Oh, they looked at this person's shit. Okay, show them more of this. Okay, right. They looked at this. They kept showing more of this. And then for some reason, there was a dog, a little, those little round dogs, pugs. And it was like, and the robot thing couldn't decide between what was a pug and a loaf of bread. They kept going, bread, dog, and it would blow up. It's like broke the algorithm because it couldn't decipher between bread and a dog. Just like it can't decipher between these horrible, inappropriate bot thingies
right.
and then like actual cannabis content creators. I don't really have that problem because I know how the algorithm works. Yeah. Don't use banned hashtags. I know how badly you want to use them. My podcast, my platform is like, I want to be like the Oprah of that type of thing, like a safe space for the people who push those boundaries.
Sure.
The Prince of podcasts, the Prince, he would come on there, he always got to change my name. It's formerly known as Prince. I'm no longer just, I'm just a symbol now. People like Snoop Dogg and all those other people, but he doesn't get in trouble. But like, just people like I know that push those boundaries, content creators that show themselves smoking weed, smoking their blunts and, showing off their awesome, beautiful flower.
Right. It should be normal, like drinking at this point. Like it should just be like,
fine.
Hey, the war on drugs shouldn't be fought,
anymore. Stop it. But those bots can't tell the difference. But I'm like, until all that shit gets figured out, I'm just personally.
I never thought about that. So you're saying just by being associated with getting high or doing like it, like Oh, this is a cannabis spam thing. Like,
Yeah, so you have to be. I'm
interesting.
subtle with it with my advertisements. There will be some things in there. You'll see flower in there, but it might be in something else that's inside that photo.
Yeah, like a little
So,
symbol.
no,
or
little
something.
some symbol, little something subtle.
A little nod.
Yeah, a little nod to it.
Yeah.
But we do need people that push those boundaries, and I want to be the person who that is a safe space. That's gentle with it there, right? That I'm not getting shadow banned, so that way when you come on my show, you will be seen, it will be heard, it's not going to be banned, if that makes any sense. But there's ways to get around it. You just have to take a break. There's all kinds of shit. People will figure it out. But it's just, I just know that for me, I don't want to deal with that. So fine, fuck it. I will stop using hashtag cannabis for right now.
Right.
Because the algorithm doesn't like it. They'll be like, oh no, ban. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Right.
It's like, it's illegal. We're celebrating, but they're like, no. And I'm like, okay.
This is content that needs parental supervision.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I cuss a lot.
No, I'm not. I wasn't saying about that. Like just saying it with it saying cannabis or something, like it flags it, like illicit content.
Right.
Like must be verify your age to see this. Like, oh, it's a symbol of a plant. Okay,
people do that,
Yeah.
and they put their disclaimers all over their page. Sometimes, nothing for sale and all kinds of stuff like that. But they still, sometimes end up getting in trouble. And I'm just like, I just can't deal with that. So I'm just like, I'm not going to use them. But I want people that do that to be able to come on my show, know that they will be seen, heard, and that, it's a safe place, like a place where,
Yeah, compassionate space.
Yeah, compassionate place for 420 friendly pages and just everybody.
And it's nicer to have some content out there that is, showing some compassion in the world, inviting people in and stuff. And, something you were talking about earlier that kind of sparked a memory. When like thinking about content and how like just the news and how our emotions, how numb we've all become as a society to like 3 people died in this mass shooting or 5 people died in this local Walmart, somewhere in the country. Like I just saw something in the news about that just the other day.
Oh my God.
But like we hear that kind of stuff so often. Like I remember this family that I met when I lived at like Cherith Brook. It's like a like community farm here in the northeast neighborhood. Yeah, like kind of like a commune, like people.
Cool.
Yeah, lots of like shared.
You lived on a hippie commune.
Basically, yeah, I was like working with bees and chickens in the middle of the city, feeding folks, and yeah, it was a great time. But there was this family that I met kind of through that kind of couple of years I lived there, and they were sharing at one of these kind of gatherings we had, like a little fire thing, whatever. And we were just talking about like the news, and they have a couple kids, and they don't have a TV in their house. It's like their family's just decided like, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And they were talking about when they traveled to see their grandparents, though, their grandparents had the news on.
Oh, God.
And so while they were kind of working on the meal, like their couple kids were just sitting at the TV. Like they're not used to seeing a TV. They're like 8 or 10 years old at the time.
What is this magical
so
box?
they're like watching this person talk. Like, they're just kind of enthralled like any kids would be kind of seeing TV. And a few minutes later, the kids come into like dining room or the kitchen area, and they're like, Mom, Dad, like, and they're like tearing up. Like, did you hear what happened? Like, there was this bombing in like Iraq, like, and they killed like kids, that there was like innocent kids or something.
Oh my God.
And like just their reaction, like, they're adults, and even though they may not have a TV in their house, they kind of have like, even if they heard it in the background, like there's this like switch, like human, like we have now. It's like a phenomenon where it's just like, we just don't, that doesn't sink in, but you just see these like little kids, like having like a visceral, like emotional reaction to like, oh my gosh, did you just hear like some kids died? And just the heartbreak. And so they just kind of sat with them, just like, hey, let's like stop and say a prayer for that family. And and it was, I'm pretty sure it was, I think they were telling me that it was like, this is, they're probably older now, like kids, but this was some years ago, but it obviously was still during the Iraq kind of stuff. Yeah. And I think it was like drone, like it was a US thing. Anyways, but just like, yeah, just, I don't know. It's just interesting that, how much would we all feel in the world if that's how we if we felt that deeply every time, like, oh my God, like there was a mass shooting today. Like, let's like, and more than just thoughts and prayers and tots and pears.
Just like be more
bullshit, like
actual caring.
Yeah, like actual caring. And so sometimes it does mean mobilizing into action and just being involved in the community. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just an interesting thought. Like, I think we should be conscientious of what content we are consuming, stay informed, but like, don't become numb to just the goings on of the dark things in the world,
Yeah, no, because it's called desensitization.
Desensitizing.
Yeah, desensitizing yourself. So wherever you think everything that you're seeing in this violence or just whatever it is, or even if it's nice things, you're just used to it all the time. And that's why I think shrooms are great.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna tell me a shroom story.
Yeah, and that's why I think shrooms are great, because it was like because you're seeing how those children reacted to that. So it's like, yes, God calls us to be like little children, right? So it's just like, not that we have to be wise as a fox, be wise as a snake too, but also be like little children, be gentle as a dove, right? These different fun words and things like that. But you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Sure.
It's like, be soft and gentle, but wise. And it's like, God, how amazing would it be if we just freaking were all just like took shrooms every day and we could just be aware and see all the beauty that we just take for granted. It's like a newborn baby's eyes are like a kaleidoscope. They're seeing like everything for like the first time. It's just like, oh my God, these are fucking colors. It's like when I got high for the first time and I was like, oh my God, and seeing these colors and shit. It's fucking amazing.
It's like a good description of it. Yeah, it's like, the Hollywood and the media depicts a shroom trip or LSD as like, oh, suddenly Mickey Mouse pops out of the wall or this and
some
that.
Like LSD crazy shit.
Yeah, but it's like no, like you just like you now see the essence of grass.
Yes.
In your brain, it's just grass. But
you see,
suddenly you understand that grass and you understand the tree around you and you acknowledge their existence.
Yes.
It's like seeing them for the first time.
Yes.
Like that childlike wonder.
Right. And I was like, oh my God, this tree is breathing. It's a fucking alive. And then it's just like, I remember when I first did shrooms. Oh my God. You have to have like the right amount for who decides you are. And my fiance is a full grown man. And I, at the time, was even smaller than I am. I'm just a short 5-foot person. And I had the same amount as him. And my metabolism.
Doing a little hero's journey, huh?
Yes. I went on a hero's journey for my very first time. And, his started to kick in first before mine did because my metabolism is totally different. And so by our walk through the forest, I'm sitting here with this whole staff and everything. And I'm like, onward. These people are walking by and I'm all like, onward. I'll lead you the way. This way, people. And everything. And he was like, yep, time to go. And because there's like waterfalls and cliffs. We're like in the actual like woods and stuff like that.
Shoot. So, that's the best place.
Forest. It's the best place. I was just
like, I recommend nature. Highly recommend nature.
God. This tree. Look at this branch. Look at this leaf. It's beautiful. It's so green. Look at it. It's like green and there's yellow and there's like clear and it's like sparkling a little. Look how the light, look at it.
Just look at it. Just look at it.
Look at this leaf. We have to go. Come on, honey. Let's go. And I'm like, okay, we're going.
Would you just look at that?
Look at that. It's like, oh my God, look at it. It's amazing. And I'm like, he's like, come on, honey, we got to go, So we're like going and everything and I'm leaving. And so it kicks in and I'm in a car and I'm going to tell you the whole story. Can I tell you the whole story?
Yeah, tell me the whole story.
This whole experience.
I'm in the journey now.
Okay, so we get in the car, we're leaving, he has to pull over because he has to pee. And I'm like, I'm laughing because I'm just seeing it all. I don't forget it. You don't forget it. You remember your experiences, when you have shrooms, especially your first one. And I had a coming to Jesus heroic dose. And so I was touching my hair and I was like, I can feel my hair growing. I have hair and it's growing. I feel it. It's slow, but it's growing. I can feel it grow. I have hair and it's growing. And I kept saying that and I was feeling it and I kept laughing. And then by the time we got back to the cabin out there and stuff, and this is out in Pennsylvania, an Amish country, German country, Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's like Amish buggies and horses and everything around. It's a really beautiful place. And we're out here in these woods and stuff like that. Here I go with my hand movements up in those windy parts up here tucked away. And it started to get dark, but we went inside and we needed to shower, but I was just like, first I had to pee. But when you have shrooms for the first time, it always makes you feel like you have to pee and poo or whatever, even though you should eat something, but you don't. But
Right.
I had to pee, I felt. And I was just like, no, we're going to pee. And I was told my body, this is what we're doing. And I had a cosmic pee. And it was sorry if that's TMI, but it was like, I saw the whole molecules, all the science things that, all that stuff, the double helix stuff and all that shit. It was like science. And I could see it, and then it happened, and it was magical. And then I was dark in there, and I was like, I would sit there, and I was standing, and I was being in there, and I remember standing and sitting, and standing and sitting, and then I was standing, and I remember laughing so fucking hard. I would just bust out laughing so hard, and then I get really serious. And then I would laugh so hard because there was so many realizations that were happening. I was like, I am in a cabin. A beautiful Amish made, so nice, soft, beautiful wood, like beautiful place. I'm like, everything in here is made from things from outside. This toilet paper is made from things from outside. This toilet is made from things from outside. I was like, this whole building is made from things from outside. Why am I peeing inside? I should just pee outside. It's redundancy. I hate redundancy. I should go to outside and pee. But I did not do that. I did that later, but not then. And then I was
it's
like,
a freeing experience. Everyone needs.
It is.
Yeah, that's what our ancestors did, right?
Yes, and real. If you're a real person, not so all, so take yourself so seriously. It's fine to pee outside. It's natural.
Yeah, right.
And so, anyways, I was like in there in the bathroom, and my fiance's like, you have to turn on the light. I'm like, I can see everything in the dark. I can see perfectly fine. Your eyes are so dilated. Like, I feel like when you're on that high of a dose, I guess,
you feel like a vampire.
You do feel like a vampire.
Like senses are tingling.
But your eyes, it's like, I think it takes us back to nature, to what we were before, when we had to watch out for predators at night. You had to make sure you were not killed, and your cubs, your children, or your family or your tribe were not killed in the middle of the night by tigers and bears and dinosaurs and all kinds of other shit. Right?
Lions, tigers, and
bears. Oh my. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. We're not in the Midwest. And so anyways, and then I was like, I could see everything. And I was like, he said, okay, I need to take a shower. And I was like, having a shower high on shrooms. Have you ever had a shower high on shrooms? Do you have
amazing.
that slow motion thing like they do in the movies when they slow motion the water and you can see every drop and it's like being born? It's like, I remember being in the shower and I was like, this is what birth is like.
Yeah, that's really good. I'm going to have to think about that next time. Have an existential. A lot of my, whether it's on shrooms or not, the shower is very much always an existential. So the next time I shower, I'm going to be real intentional. I'm just going to sit there and meditate and just be like this is like
shower
birth.
Head. Yeah. Put your hands in the shower head like this. Reach up to your shower head. It's like something about putting your hands in this, like, because it's
picture
coming
yourself
out.
just going right through the canal. Just right.
Something about that. Right. I don't know. But yes. It's like this. Like, I don't know. It was like, and I kept laughing so hard. And so I went outside after that. And I was sitting out there eating candy corn and holding my dog. And I was sitting out there. I was like, I need to call my mother and tell her I understand her. And they're like, don't call your mother high on
if that
shrooms.
ain't some like mushroom truthisms, like I need to call my mother and I need to tell her I understand her.
I need to call my mother.
I understand you now, mother.
I was like, I need to call my mother and tell her that I understand her. And they're like, no, do not call your mother high on shrooms. I was just like, but I understand her. I get it. I understand, Mom.
And you'll just say that over and over again to her, and you'll be seeing it, and she'll just be like, what the hell are you saying? What do you mean you understand me? No, Mom, I just need you to know. I get it.
I get it.
I get it
I
now.
understand you, Mom. I get it now.
What? I don't understand what is... Oh, I see it, Mom. I see it.
I get it. I totally get it, Mom. And so I didn't call my mom high on shrooms, but I wanted to call her high on shrooms. And then I was laughing so hard, and then I had all these realizations. So then you can't close your eyes and sleep, because you close your eyes, everything you do see the trippy shit. And it's just like, for me, it was pink elephants from the Dumbo. Pink elephants, pink elephant song parade, here we come.
Like if
Hippity
you like
hoppity.
close your eyes in the dark or
Look
something.
Look out. Pink Elephant Song Parade. I love that thing. Funny. Pink Elephants. So anyways.
But in that context, you're like, I don't want to see that.
I don't want to say, it's just, they're like,
no, please.
they're like this.
I'll pass on the pink elephants.
Your eyes are closed. If you try to close your eyes and not, all those little things that are behind your eyes when you stare at the sun, or you close your eyes and you're facing the sun and you see all the little swirly light thingies moving around and shit, or if you're like really tired and you see that little bacteria, little wormy thing moving around or stuff like that, that shit starts moving fast. Okay. If you close your eyes, I think that's what it is anyway.
I believe it, yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, you can't do that. And you can't look at TV, but I tried. And so I was like, try not to watch TV, but I was just like trying to be normal because we were at his family's house and shit. And they're like Christians too and shit. And so they don't know that we're like smoking pot and I did shrooms and I'm high out of my fucking mind. So I'm like, I try to go downstairs all normal, like maintain. You know, that's like you high, but maintain. Yo, be cool, man. Be cool. So be cool. I'll try to be cool. So I was like sitting downstairs. And this TV was on, and then I had like this drawing sketch pad, you know, this watercolor stuff, right? And I tried to draw what was on the TV. Now, I know at the one point, because I looked at it, and for a split second, I knew it was a woman in a green dress, okay? But it started going like doing its own thing.
Start moving on you, huh?
Yeah, so I was just like, you can't look at the TV and you shouldn't really look at yourself. So like physically in the eye face, for some reason, I don't know, that's what I was told. So either way, I started to draw and I tried to draw the green dress, but there's a green line. And then after I was done, there was this beautiful zygonaut art that emerged out of this paper, and it's colorful, and they're like, that's a tree spirit that you just drew. That's what that is. My friend's like, that's a tree spirit. It's like a figure, and it's a woman, and it's like her butt, and there's like the silhouette of the woman, and then she's like reaching up, and there's all these colors, and it's all this other shit that's happening and stuff. So a really cool art came from that.
That's cool.
You know, and then when it was time to go to bed, because we had to like act normal, and I'm still like high, and I was like, so I started to go to sleep, but then so I just laid there staring at the ceiling, and then one by one, and this is when we get to the spiritual part. And Lucy talks fast and a lot, so it's okay. Tell me to slow down. I try to enunciate and slow down. Anyways.
I'm tracking with you. You're doing
okay,
great.
You're doing great. Okay, great. So I get excited, and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. So when I was trying to get some rest, I lay there just kind of staring at the ceiling, just kind of looking around the dark, you know, just chilling there. And one by one, each goddess of all types came to see me. So here comes the Native Indian, different goddesses, you know, they're awesome, you know, the way that they look, you know, well, what we look, they're like, you know, this is not what I look like, right?
Right.
And I was like,
just like whatever our brain
and I was like, yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, I know. And I was like, okay, cool. So one by one, they're like that. And here comes Jesus. And he's in his, like, you know, what everyone always thinks, you know, his toga robe and his staff holding the lamb and his, like, blue eyes and brown hair and shit. And everything.
Your Jesus has blue eyes, brown hair.
No, my Jesus does not. I'm just saying that most of the Americas, you know, are they're different worlds.
The caricature of Jesus just, kind of thing.
The typical thing.
I see.
He was all like, you know, this is not what I look like, right? And I was like, yeah, I know. He goes, I'm like without form, you know, I'm like part, you know, I'm God. And, you know, it's Father, you know, God, and then like the Holy Spirit, and like then Jesus. He's like, I'm the baby of it all, you know. I'm like, this is not what you look like.
I'm the baby of it.
No, like, don't have form, you know. But he didn't say that.
I like to party with baby Jesus.
But baby Jesus, but he didn't say I'm the baby of it all. But he just said to me, you know, this is not what I look like, right? And I was like, yeah, I know. And he goes, this is what you guys think I look like, because I said you guys are formed in my likeness, but that's not it. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then Shiva and all of them came to you and stuff like that. And they're like, you know, I don't really have all these arms. I don't really have all these arms. It's just because you guys are tripping out and you see all the streamers of multiple hands and arms. I was really just trying to talk, and you guys see too many things. That's all it is. So I was like, yeah, I know. Dancing on a head of ignorance. I love it. It's one of my favorites. And sorry if that's like, hopefully don't want to offend anybody. I just, whatever.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'm 300-something years old. Anyways. Yeah. But yeah, it's just one of my things. Tripping. I love it. Yeah, and I was tripping on shrooms, but that's what they were looking like. That's literally statues of it, you know? Mm-hmm. So Shiva came to visit me, all of them. And I was just like, cool. So yeah, I know. Like, it's just totally chill. Just keep doing you, you know? But it was an amazing time. I really loved it.
Wow. So what did you feel like was the lesson you were gathering from that? Was just kind of like all these deities exist, but like we just have these caricatures or just images in our heads that
they
like,
all matter. They all exist.
and they might,
you know, and they might not all, you know, they all exist, right?
and they look nothing like what we imagine or probably the history or stories.
Right. We don't know. Like, have you seen anatomically correct angels drawn? The ones with all the eyes.
Right. Oh, I have seen that. Yeah. It's like if we like, I saw someone like did some like AI art around it too. It's like what this would look like, the actual body and eyes and wings everywhere.
Yes, wings and the eyes are everywhere and everything. Guillermo Torres something. It's Pinocchio. That's just out. Have you seen that? It's kind of similar.
I haven't.
You should watch it. They have it in there.
They have the angels in there.
Yeah.
Like the cherub.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
The seraphim and the other ones, not the cherubim though. The scary the people think are scary, but I think they're badass. I'd be like, fuck yeah, I would love to see that shit.
And that's why, like, when I think about Christ, I think like maybe he had a connection to the truth, and like you're saying, like there's this thing, this bedrock, for lack of better words, that kind of connects and binds. That's like the foundation of the whole universe.
Yeah.
And like we have these historical, maybe myths around, these other deities, other gods, and
exactly,
it touches on something that connects all of it.
Yes, because
maybe
I think so, because like think of it. Okay, when they said, in my Bible and things like that, it's just like, well, he became like them to win them over, right? Become like, but it doesn't mean like all the time. Or when they came upon him, they saw that he looked like them. So what shapeshifter? That's what I'm thinking. Like a physical. I mean, if you're a spiritual being and all-knowing, all-powerful, everything that you created us, like, because you're God, you can do that because you're badass. So it's just like, why couldn't he? And what made it's just so deep. So my brain goes like, okay, well, what if he's all like, okay, because you guys don't know what I look like with my dark skin or understand, so I'm gonna I'm gonna look like you. And that way you can understand and hear and receive, the message or whatever it is that's going on at that time, right? And then you come upon all these other tribes, because at the beginning, the splitting up of everybody. I always talk about the Tower of Babel, like it's like Jenga, and it's all like, he's like, everyone's all like, us humans are like, we're gonna build a tower. It was a real
asshole move of God. Strip of us our one language and unified us. He's like, he was like, chaos.
You guys are getting too big for your britches. They're all like, we're humans. Look at us. We all talk the same language. We all do this. Let's do this.
You people.
Let's build all the way up here. And he's like, oh, sorry, you guys are getting too high for your britches.
Goes back to like the little Lucy in the palm of God's hand.
He's like, oh, no.
All right. Let's not go over the little tower. Flick him off the hand.
That's what Mother Earth, she's all like, no. Shake you off. But it's like, it's like, who do we think we are? So it's like, if you split it up like that, that happened. Everyone just go over here, earthquakes, let's separate all this lands and move everybody over here and all that. You guys all talk different languages, and then like a jigsaw puzzle, you're gonna have to figure that shit out and reunify, right? Because you guys were tripping. But then he goes like, I don't know what I was saying. See, I'm high.
No, I'm having a trail of thought right now.
It's like it's a lot, isn't it? Don't you get it though? What I'm saying? So it's like,
I'm picturing like, if somehow, basically you could use the word God, you could use the word universe, and I don't know, I'm having a revelation right now too, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, if the thing can look back on itself, that's God. And when Jesus said like, we are one, and like I'm in you, you and me, and this whole thing, like the reality is that because you and I are conscious, because we're even aware of our temporal bodies and our existences, we're part of this connected universe that has this consciousness to look back and reflect on itself and see. So like whether there is a literal heaven or hell or an actual being, deity, the reality is, if you could just replace that idea of the deity being of just the universe, if the stars and somehow look back at us,
like those nebulas and all that,
it would just look like existence is eternal.
Yeah.
Like from their perspective, if somehow the universe, and so that's to me the revelation I'm having, because like, yeah, I don't have to be out there in space with this telescope that somehow gives me the power to view the entire universe all at once. Like I'm doing that right now.
Yeah, like I'm in you.
Existing and seeing my existence, and I get to basically fill eternity in a breath.
Yes, that's it. It's a breath of life, and so it's like going through life thinking that all this hate or all this other things, that this matters more and that matters more, and or this person's better, or this is better. It's just like, yeah, why can't we all just like get along and just like let people fucking just live your life, because you don't know exactly like everything what's gonna happen after. A lot of I believe I know what everyone believes they know what's gonna happen. Like I do believe in heaven and hell, right? What that looks like, we don't know. It can be here right now. We just
right. It could be like the upside down, where it's just at all times, it's
yes, I
a
love
parallel
that.
dimension. Stranger Things.
It's a Stranger Things. Like the world is a Stranger Thing. It's just
we're living in a Stranger thing, and that's what's crazy. Science is starting to like prove that there are other dimensions, or that the math is starting to show that
it's so beautiful out there. I'm like, when you start to get to, okay, let me finish the other thought right quick. What I was trying to like say was that like we were we are all split up with the different like languages in the world and everywhere all at once. But why couldn't it be that God went and made himself to look like Shiva, to look like Gandhi, to look like Mother Teresa, to be, of course, in Jesus.
MLK, can't leave out.
Yeah, everybody, you know what I mean? To like help win you over, to help bring you to, to a salvation, or just to a better place in life if you don't believe in salvation, but I do, to bring you into a better place in of life where you have the life worth living, you have the life more abundantly, and a fulfilled and happy life. Like he wants you to be happy, and everyone thinks God's just this vengeful, hateful person. And I'm like, no, he's not. But all of that's in us if we're all an image of him. So we have all of that ability. So why wouldn't we have all of that different, like the power to help change our lives or other people's lives, blah, blah, blah. Just all that good, all that stuff. You kind of get it.
No, right. Like basically if I recognize the sacredness in you, everything's a mirror,
Yes, exactly.
And so if I treat someone like shit and garbage and I hate them and despise them, it's probably because there's something about them that I hate in myself. That it's a reflection back.
Yes.
And that's all it is in the world. I mean, the Kim Jong-uns and the other, big dicks who build bombs and use wealth to like,
Yep.
It all comes down to they have something they hate about themselves.
Yep, they do. They hate something about themselves, and it's like,
and they want to take it out on the rest of the world. And that's not just, I mean, the U.S. same thing. We're all the bigwigs and people who are, oppressive police departments, the regimes. It's like it's a culture shift, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. The whole thing is like we all have our fears and our flights and responses, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But we have to deal with our shit, and when we do, and you realize, we could use tools like weed and mushrooms to have a greater illumination of things. But if you don't pair that with like intentional, like mindfulness and like personal growth, then it's just feeding your ego.
Yeah, you're just feeding your ego, and you're just doing shrooms for like the wrong reasons and not having experience.
You get to see trees and the grass, and there's a power to that, just visuals and stuff. But I think, like you said, everyone I've ever talked to who's ever experienced or done psychedelics, they have some kind of transformative thing.
Yes, it changed my brain. Like when I came down, when I started to calm down, it felt like my brain was like a Rubik's Cube. It's like they took the Rubik's Cube and expanded it open like those one little balls, and so every little piece is just kind of like out there like that, and it went
just a little,
and then just like, we don't need this part anymore though. And then just put this together, and it's a little different than it was, just slightly, right? But in a good way.
Yeah.
And it was in a good way. And it was just like, oh my God. I was like, yes, love people more, like all that. I was already on that path and stuff like that. It was just that time after doing all the Kundalini yoga and the meditating and the just like all that shit, just like doing that shadow work that people talk about. So it's like I stopped going to church.
Yeah, loving your shadow, loving yourself.
Like realizing like the 4 agreements, and on yoga, the architecture of peace. Have you seen that? That's something you can find on YouTube, and it was on Netflix a long time ago, but it's short. It wasn't on there long, and it was too deep, it was too heavy for people. But that was a fucking game changer. And then, it just learning about all of that and understanding that when you're trying to meditate, it's like your thoughts will keep coming, and you have to like be like, oh, this is too hard, I can't. No, thank you, thought, I get it. And for me, I put it on a little leaf, and I send it down this little river, and I say thank you, and it's like, hey, what about that one thing? And just send it away. It's like, right, it's like, thank you for that thought. And it just, you keep controlling that until eventually you can sit there and meditate and sit there quietly. And it takes a little while, but it's like, it's a constant practice of that. And sometimes you just start with 1 minute, and then you work your way up to 2, and then to 3. And then I can do like 11, 12 minutes, and do all the Kundalini yoga stuff like this and different things, which are different mudras and different things for
mudras, hand mudras.
Yeah, hand mudras, and the meditations. And I love all of that.
That's cool.
And then sometimes you gotta take a break, because being that awake and working on that chakras and the Kundalini yoga and all the movements that you have to do. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I've done some home yoga, but I've only just started dabbling, like kind of reading about the mudras, like the hand, like power, like they channel different.
Yes, the different
like powers
things
going on, healing, and
this one was like, I fell asleep in this position last night.
Interesting.
Yeah, bring those fingers together. Yeah, like
that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see.
Do you feel that? Just kind of sit like that. And it's different from when your hands are up. Yeah. And then when your hands are down. And
I wonder what that one's called.
I forget the technical names. I always have to look them up, sometimes, and I have them written down, but I just know them because I do them a lot. And it's like, this helps with, of course, your weight loss. Meditation helps with focus. It helps with different types of things. But I literally just fell asleep like this. And then I was like, in the middle of your sleep, you ever fall into one of those deep sleeps, kind of like your whole body is tingly, and if something wakes you up, it's like someone woke you up out of anesthesia or something. Like you're all like super tingly everywhere. Mm-hmm. It works out. It hits different nervous system things. There's a lot different to it. So just keep studying it. It's really it's interesting. But being that awake, if you do choose. If you so choose to walk down walk down this path of Kundalini yoga and do the movements, you will be forever changed. But it's have you seen those memes? They're like, what people think is spiritual awakening is like, oh, what it really is. It's like, oh my God. Sometimes
it's like, actually, it's very terrifying.
It can be. It's like, what in the world is happening? And but it's good. But being that self-aware and awake, you're just kind of like, then you get sick of people, and then you get like me. You don't watch TV anymore or the news, because you're just like, you fucking people. What the fuck? What? Can't you just chill the fuck out and be nice to people? What is wrong with you? Like, I can't. You're getting me out of my. I can't. No. I'm just no. It's not worth it, because unless I'm actually gonna go out there and protest, I'm actually gonna sign up and go out there and fight those the battles, the things that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
My place for me as a person is to kind of know what's going on a little bit. Give me the gist, maybe some names of some people, and I'll pray for them.
Yeah.
I'll pray for you. I'll pray for them, pray for the situation, send out those good energy vibes that you can feel, that people can project their auras and all that stuff. And, when I turn that on, I really can turn that on and just, and expand that love out. So there's people like that are needed, and we need people that go out and actually, like our soldiers, our troops, and just people that on the lines of like, I don't know, everything, nurses, doctors, teachers, dogs, everything.
Community organizers,
community organizers.
Yeah.
I don't know, all the words, they're all in my head. It's hard to get them from here to here.
Yeah,
sometimes.
No, when I lived at Cherith Brook, we kind of had that like, hey, we're a safe haven for people in the community, and we'll take on issues and we'll protest where we can, but ultimately we're here to serve a meal, cultivate good food,
Yeah.
like from the earth. You know, like,
You need those
and we'd
things.
have some communities that we'd go visit that were purely just a prayerful, like meditative space.
Yeah.
And they will pool together money and resources to help bail out their friends who are protesting at nuclear sites
that's good.
and stuff.
Yes.
Right. Like at the end of the day, like,
yeah.
we have
People
to
that do
realize
their
that
part.
there are people who are going to have a calling to like, hey, I'm going to create more of a restoration, you know, restful space for folks who are on the front lines doing these things and bring some healing. And then there's other folks who are like, oh yeah, we're going to go charge into the foray. You know, we're going to go just handle some shit, you know.
We're going to handle this shit, you know. So there's a
good balance probably to all
there's
of it.
a balance to it. It's just really hard. It's a lot. And I'm like, I feel also that everything's repeating itself in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cycles and patterns. It's the whole, like, I don't know who said it. It's like history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes, you know?
Yeah, but it rhymes. It's like we're in the 1920s, 30s, 60s again, sort of 50s, like, again. And it's like, I'm just like, God, I'm going to have to die and come back again and do this. I really hope not.
What really sucks is if, you die now and you get reincarnated back in the 1300s.
God damn it. I would hate that. I'd be like, man, what the fuck? You better not. Man.
3000 BC, you know? I don't know.
I don't want to go back to that far. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure we have at some point, maybe. If the universe is big and infinite and there are multiple versions of me out there, one could be living in the one where he's, I don't know,
running away from like dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like hunting down mammoths and stuff for dinner. Mammoth meat steaks.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just like
mammoth meat steaks.
Mammoth meat steaks. Just making up things. It's like, I don't know. I think if I could go back and if I could go back in any time, I'd probably just go back to the star pod that I came from. Like the nebula. I would like.
Okay, that's where you actually came from.
That's where I actually came from. Like people don't know that they think
yeah.
vampires are like made by some like I don't know what they think we're
like a bite or something.
Some bite. But who made them the first bite? It was actually nice mythical beings that lived in star pods.
Oh, that's cool. So you were shot to Earth.
Yeah, we all were. Like you know those. Like I just know mine's up there somewhere. You know, north of here. You know, it's up there somewhere. You know, and out there maybe to the right. Maybe because I'm just like looking to the right.
Is it like the second star to the right?
Yeah, maybe.
Straight on till morning.
Yeah, maybe.
That's in Peter Pan.
Oh yeah, it's
that's how you get to Neverland.
Oh, that's how you get to Neverland. That's where it is.
Yeah, second star to the right and straight on till morning.
Straight on till morning. Oh, good Lord. That's so funny. But that's what it is. Like, I think those beautiful, I love NASA and the Space Hubble. And I was like looking at all those star pods and nebulas and all those beautiful nurseries and all that. I'm like,
celestial, like,
yes,
baby chambers. Like,
so pretty.
They're literally forming.
Yeah, new stars.
We're in the future, or we're seeing the past. So like,
what?
Like literally, that's like those nebula. Those are like stars that are still forming. So like, they're probably already formed, but we're seeing the past. We're seeing like they're so far away that Hubble like image is literally peering into the past and seeing stars clusters that are birthing. They're literally they're
still
forming.
Like forming.
Right.
God, that's so interesting. I'm just like, see, so when you start to like get yourself all worked up
over
your
time, you realize it none of it makes sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It's beautiful.
It's math. It does make sense to somebody, but your
brain's not for that. Like it's not on that
the
like,
comprehension level that it takes to like, I'm seeing the past right now. These baby stars
are in the past, but I'm here now. But I'm looking in the past.
And time is just irrelevant. Yeah,
it is irrelevant. I don't believe
it's just relative to how we decide to feel or
how to feel our days.
Yeah,
you know, it's like the star pods and nebulas. It's like when you get frustrated with things or too frustrated with life and all that. Well, then I just go, well, how about, go look at some star pods where you are naturally born because of all of the galaxies all in all of us. Yeah. The different elements of space,
Yeah. The chemicals are literally in our
DNA, right? So it's just like, go look at where you really are from and like stop fighting over, this is my area. This is my area. We don't have enough room over here. We have people in cages and shit. I'm just like, that breaks my heart. I'm like, I don't know who needs to be paid to let that stop, to like just I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think it's just like we have enough room here There's so much open stuff. I know we have a lot of like sacred land and like different like, you know, national parks and all that stuff, but it's like there's enough room for everyone.
Right.
I'm just like, that's why I wouldn't be president. I'd probably be assassinated because I'd be like, sure, it's fine. Like we have plenty of room. Just put them over there. It's fine. Montana's plenty spacious. Like,
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, then whose land are you putting
Idaho
it
has
on?
a lot of space. Montana, Nebraska, you know, there's a lot of the Washington, some area, you know, there's a lot
I think
of
you
space.
can fit the whole world's population on like Staten Island. Not Staten Island, but you know, something crazy. Like, I mean, it'd be body to body.
Yeah.
Like this whole state of New York or something. I can't
Yeah.
remember what it is. The issue is it comes down to like, people congregate near water sources and food. And so it's more like,
it's kind
how do you get like, what's crazy in the U.S. and this is why like at like Cherith Brook when I lived there, like we would do like food rescue. We go to Cosentino's downtown.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we get like food that they're about to throw away. And we serve. Yeah. So we rescue it and repurpose it and make it food that we can cook for people.
Right.
But what's crazy is just like, I mean, they say half of all food production doesn't even make it to our shelves.
I know.
It's all thrown away, like because it wasn't pretty or shelf, you know, like pretty, like
it's like why
a blemish or a bug or this or that. And
it's
so
like I just thought that's what I'm like gonna have to write a book about, which I am working on right now.
Yeah,
just like how it would take over the
that.
world. It's
You're
top
take over the
secret.
world.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yes.
take over the world. It's kind of top secret. Like seriously, I have to make people sign NDAs to talk about it. It's that deep. There's no book like it out there.
Okay.
It's really that deep. There's not like, I've done my research. There's no book out there like it. And
we should write together sometime.
we should. Yes, I would like to do that because
post about a coffee shop, do some writing.
you have to sign an NDA though.
We don't have to talk about stories. Yeah.
I can't tell you the story.
Yeah, but we can just like physically work on.
Because I don't know how that really works. I'm like, I journal, I write like all the time, right? You know, it's like, have you written a book? Well, yeah, I've been journaling since I was 16 years old, so I have like a shit ton of journals.
You could write your memoir pretty quick.
Yeah, it's just all right there. It's easy. It's all there, you know, and putting it in book form, where you're like, you know, when you read it, like you're reading a book, and how all that goes. That part, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I just wrote. You know, you can put the spaces where they need to go, I guess, or whatever. But it's like I just will write, and I don't know. It's a lot. I'm like, my kids can have that if I have kids one day, whatever. Yeah. You know, but they can't read it until I'm like half dead or dead and stuff because when they're teenagers.
Kids, here's 20 books.
Here's all these 20
journals.
20,000, 2,000. Who knows by that time? I don't know. God. Well, there's a lot of years. Some of them are together. I mean, the first one got destroyed when I was younger because my mom found it. And I'm like, I love you, mommy. Just know I totally love you and I understand. It's okay. But it's like, it's why you don't read your kids' journals or things like that, especially when they're teenagers. Because you're not going to like what's in there. Of course, they're teenagers. They don't fucking like you. You're ruining their life all the time, you know. So they're hormonal. They're children. They don't get things, you know. They might say or do things and write things in there you might not like. So don't read it. Just don't. It's not for you to read. So the very first one got destroyed, but I have the one after that still, and so on. Very protective of them.
Yeah.
And just like, I need to get a fire safe for them. Like, it's like if anything happens, just grab that thing and take it. Like, have the wagon, just have it on a wagon. just have it on a wagon ready to go. Ready to roll.
Like in a go bag. Like,
yeah.
Like the zombie apocalypse. It's like,
just grab the wagon.
I've got my gun and then I've got all these journals.
Yeah.
I've got all these sacred
and
journals.
extra paper and pens.
Right.
All the big pens.
All the essential things you need in a zombie apocalypse, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God, I would love that. That's where I get, like, you asked me about my view of life and different stuff, you know. I'm like, I watch The Walking Dead a lot, you know, so I'm just like, that'd be so great.
Did you finish it?
I don't think I finished all of it. I just kind of, after, I just don't want to ruin it for anybody, but after a certain character died, which a lot of characters die, so that's at any point. But I just, like,
if you watch it, you know who she's talking about.
Yeah, I was just like,
I know exactly who you're talking about. And you're like, anyway, so what's the worldview of The Walking Dead?
So The Walking Dead, I was just like, how great would that be if it was like that? Because none of this other shit would matter. Money doesn't matter. Credit card debt doesn't matter. School loans don't matter. Gas doesn't matter.
Just like the show.
Well, gas
a lot
matters.
of people would die.
Yeah, just like a lot of people would die.
Just constant death. Yeah, that's the thing. Like at the end of the day, like, yeah, there's still a lot of death happening.
Yeah.
But if it was just mass anarchy suddenly because of the end of the world and something like that, I don't know. I also heard that, like, based on like first account testimonies and books, like during the Great Depression, like there was a moment of panic where people were like, scrambling to get their money out of banks. People were buying up shit out of the stores. And so when the market was crashing, there was just, there was like some of that. I don't know if how much looting or things happened like that. But
and what year was this?
Like, in the 1920s.
And what year is this?
2020 or 23. Oh, yeah, 100 years later.
So it's happening. What did we have? Riots and looting, and our economy, like eggs are like $15,000, and
But I heard like
fuck.
Yeah, like no, we're in a recession, and we're just all like pretending like it's not, but it's not as bad as the Depression. No. But like I don't know, I just heard that like you would think it would just be mass panic and death and stuff from that point on, but it became like very much like it was almost like the pandemic. Like it was a unifying thing. Like, there were so many people who were, had businessmen selling their suits just to be able to buy bread.
Yep.
And people like basically vagabonds who just like, all right, this farm's cool. They'll let people stay here for a penny a night.
Yeah.
And we'll serve you breakfast, but maybe you'll have to help us milk some cows.
And it's like, yeah, exactly.
And so I hear what you're saying. Like at some point,
Airbnbs,
we could like
different stuff.
The universe, we try to control it, and it has a way of just chaos just builds up.
Yeah, it's just letting you know you're
not
in control.
Let you know that your money and all your shit, it's all gonna go to the dust eventually.
It won't matter. Like that road, it was at the Road to Perdition or something like that. It was some like desolate movie where the guy walked by a pile of money that was kind of on fire. A little bit, just like walk past it. Like you're not gonna steal that. You're stealing batteries. You're trying to find batteries, gas. You're trying to find like food. Warmth, things like that. But I think watching that made me think like, how great would that be? Because none of that would matter. And then I can like chop people's heads off. That'd be so great. I'd be like Michonne. I'm like, sword.
Jesus.
And I'd be like,
for some people they thrive during that kind of thing, like serial killers,
yes,
the psychopaths are like, yes, I've been waiting for this, the preppers,
yes, like this would be so great. I'd be like, fuck yeah.
Have you been training with a sword is what I'm hearing? You're
yes,
trying to
you
be
saw
Michonne.
me. Yes, Michonne.
I saw you in the out in the front yard before the episode. You just kind of like swishing around. Well,
oh my god,
before the world ends, hopefully it doesn't end this year,
right?
What is 2023 going to look like for you? Like, you got projects going on?
Oh, yeah.
What events are you going to?
Oh, my gosh. All kinds of stuff. Thanks for asking. I have more interviews, sort of, and just living life. But I'm going to be going possibly to some expos and stuff like that, like cannabis bowls, cannabis expos, maybe. Going to the movies, going for a walk.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
But, just keep growing the podcast, just having fun with it, I have no idea really what else is in store, but I just know that for the show, I'm just going to keep on going. I have a lot in store.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to being on other people's shows and just being on, going to I really, just going out and doing things.
Getting high and doing things.
Yeah. Just, I have lighters. I have merch. I have lighters that I'm selling.
Yeah, where can folks find you online?
They can just send me a DM, and it's Cash App. I need to set up a website, but I'm like, I'm new, been doing this for 2 years, so I'll get there. But Cash App, send you at me your address, I'll mail it out to you, and it's a really cute package and everything. I do it up really nice and everything like that, so it's totally worth it. Yeah. And they can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I have a Facebook like page, Facebook regular page. And on TikTok, and everything like that, and a website coming soon. So that's definitely in the future for High and Doing Things coming up for 2023. So it's
High and Doing Things across all social media platforms.
Yes.
Right?
Yep, that's what it is. Lucille Cody. And also what's really a major thing that's happening, for 2023 is I'm getting married.
Yeah. What date did you guys set?
Oh my gosh. We have set for August 12th. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited. So that's like planning. It's all happening. And we're getting married on a boat.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're getting married on a boat. So we're going to be.
Yeah, I feel like we were starting to have that conversation earlier. We got
I know,
sidetracked somewhere in there.
Hi, doing things. This is what happens with Lucy.
Yeah,
We go all
but
over
see how
the
it all
place.
comes back full circle, you know?
Together. I love it when a plan comes together, you know? But.
So y'all are doing it on a boat.
Yes, on a boat. We're going to live stream it. My mom's like, don't tell everything. But I'm like, well, I'm just saying that I want it to be relaxed and chill. I want people to wear what makes them feel beautiful and confident and fun that day and happy. You know, I want you to bring whoever, whatever. You know, I'm having pizza at my wedding.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I want pizza. I want pizza. Like, I'm having ball gown. I'm pretty sure I'm going to wear whatever it is, you know.
You gonna wear a mask? You gonna wear one?
No, I'm not wearing a mask, but I'm like, it's not gonna be like live stream for everyone. It's like, it's gonna be, you know, for guests, you know. Like, I gotta keep my unheraldness.
Yeah,
you know?
can't be letting just any plebeians in.
No.
See the behind the mask.
Yeah, no
scenes,
behind the
you know?
mask right now. But I'm gonna be on the boat. We're gonna live stream it, you know, to the reception, so everyone can just be already there. You know, because we can't put everybody on the boat. You know, it's not like I have a yacht. You know, we're in the middle of we're landlocked here. So I'm just like, I have them live stream it there at the place. They can watch, wave at the camera. Hey, we're on our way. See you in a little bit. And then we will go to where everyone is there at the reception hall and, you know, have a good time. And it's not a hall. It's a really big, beautiful place. But yeah, I just call things what they are, what I think they are, whatever comes to mind. I don't feel like thinking too hard about it sometimes.
Our mead hall. Just we're going to
the mead hall.
Yeah, and just having the.
You can get your trough.
Where they have the shenanigans and all
the shenanigans and party. It's going to be pretty nice. I'm excited. And I'm just like, I need pizza. Well, what else are you going to have there for your guys? What if people don't want pizza? It's my wedding. I don't care what you want. It's what I want. I better have pizza. Can we order other food? Yes, you can order other food. It's fine with me. I, as a bride, must have some pizza. That's it.
That
and
sounds
cake,
like a great time.
and adult grape juice called wine.
An adult grape juice.
It's called wine.
That's pizza and wine. Hey, that's a great combo.
Right? Just have fun and good music. And everybody dance. Just have a good time, you know? You don't need to be super stressed out like a bridezilla and be all like, I have to have this. I need to do that. And everybody must and do. You're stressing yourself out and going into debt for one day. And then it's the rest of your life.
Right.
And that's just you and your partner, you know, and that's it. You know, so everyone that wants to come can come. You know, that I'm sending the invites to, you know, if they can make
Anybody
it.
who gets an invite can come.
Yeah, anyone who gets an invite can come.
All my listeners just, all right, I'm going. Where's
well,
my
I
invite?
mean, if you guys want to come, please, like, you know, just bring positive, awesome vibes, you know?
Yeah. Everyone who listens to the show, that's definitely what they channel, but you don't got to feed all those people.
No, I can't buy you guys all pizza, though. You might have to bring your own pizza.
Yeah, to bring your own pizza. No, that sounds chill, though.
Yeah, that sounds chill. It's just like walking. Can you imagine if...
Hey, I came to your wedding, yeah.
I came to your wedding.
I brought my own pizza.
God, what is that guy's name? Oh, Bill Murray. Could you imagine Bill Murray just like walking in, like carrying a pizza, or the dude?
Yeah, the dude.
You know.
I'm picturing the dude.
Like the dude abides, like, yeah, man, this is pretty chill. Like, what's up, dude? It's like, yeah, man, dude abides. That's what's up.
Well, you hear it, everybody. Make sure you buy some merch from her. Support her wedding. You know, give her show a listen. Hi and doing things.
Yes, please do.
The royal podness herself. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Micah. It's been a really great time.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
Oh my gosh, I had so much fun.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, we'll have to. I'd love to come on your show.
Yes, I'd love to have you on.
We'll just keep having the hangouts and the parties with each other.
Yeah,
you know?
I know we keep running into each other. It's so cool.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome, dude.
Well, everybody, make sure, as always, be praying for me, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me for the Pray for Micah podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review, and check out my YouTube channel and follow me on social media. Pray for Micah Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you next time.
You are now re-entering the normal world.